first episode of the HorrorBulls Film School podcast. I'm joined today by my host, Joey.
Hello, hello.
And Chris.
Hey, man, that's me, man.
And today's topic will be Feast from 2005.
Yeah, it surely will be.
Feast.
It was a good year.
It's what's for dinner.
I think.
What made it a good year?
I don't remember. I think
I don't either.
Let's just go with that. It was a good year.
2005, I graduated high school and I started working in a chicken nugget factory.
There it is.
That old boy.
Putting
Got that pink slime.
Putting
That
chicken nuggets on the line.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That'll 20
And you still ate the shit after the fact.
I learned so many things. I learned I should have went to college.
Delicious.
Still learning.
Delicious. So let's get into the synopsis of Feast. Basically, to trim this thing down from the short movie that it already is, trapped inside a remote West Texas bar, a group of strangers must band together for survival against a horde of flesh-eating creatures.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's a pretty good setup.
Did they specify
Credits.
Texas? I don't remember that
End scenes,
specifically.
roll credits.
I watched a lot of YouTube videos on this, so yeah, it's West Texas.
Okay. Fair enough.
Do not make fun of my homework, Chris, all right?
It's just
Did
canyon
they ever,
country, and that's all I remember.
even allude to it being Texas, like, at all?
I think the boss man's persona was just...
I just think it's like entire Midwest and South.
All right, let's get into the cast and crew notes. Feast was directed by John Gulager, who most notably directed the two sequels, and
Yeah,
Piranha
good for
3 Double D.
Oh, yeah. So he went all in on the genre, huh?
Yeah, he went all in the wrong direction. So he produced a lot of gems that may get brought up on the HorrorBulls Film School later on. Some of the cast of this movie, a few notable faces. Dwayne Whitaker, you may know from Pulp Fiction or Halloween 2. I believe Joe is a big fan of old Dwayne Whitaker.
Hey, don't forget about Hobgoblins.
And apparently Hobgoblins.
Hobgoblins is the classic tale.
Fun fact,
Whitaker, we're talking about Boss Man?
Cover one day.
Yeah, Boss Man. Sorry, Dwayne
He
Whitaker
was
plays
in
Boss Man.
From Dusk Till Dawn 2, son.
2.
Okay, so
Texas Blood
I
Money.
just stopped in for a quick bite.
I love that line.
He's fucking great.
a fun fact.
If he's not sucking blood, he's out here watching people get raped by pawn shop owners.
A fun fact about apparently this podcast's favorite horror actor. He has currently 11 movies in production.
Shit.
I thought he died like 4 years ago. How's he still
He's
making
definitely
movies?
the opposite of dead. He's making more movies than like 5 actors currently.
See, COVID
Wow.
cannot stop this guy.
Moving right along with the cast, we have the great Henry Rollins, who the audience might know
Black Flag, let's go.
from the band Black Flag, or from the
Wrong
movies
Turn.
Heat, Bad Boys 2, or your host's personal favorite, Jack Frost.
I thought he was in Wrong Turn 4. There's no way you missed that one.
He was in Jack Frost, okay? So that's better than
Was
no
he?
guy.
Was
God.
he? Was he?
He was
Jack
driving
Frost?
he drove the damn truck. That's
He drove the
right.
truck. He was a hockey coach. He was a hockey coach. Sid, whatever his name was.
Damn,
His name
Henry,
was
thank
Zit.
you.
He was a hockey
Zit?
coach.
And lastly, for the cast, I have Jason Mewes, who most people know from Clerks or Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Jay. I thought he was just kind of, I don't know. This is more like a cameo than anything, right?
He definitely just got a paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was definitely one to stick on top of the actual DVD box to say, hey, look, it's the guy from Jay and Silent Bob.
I think like wasn't Affleck and Matt Damon attached as like producers?
I have a note here. Yeah, the movie development was part of Matt Damon and Ben Affleck's Project Greenlight program.
Yeah, I guess that explains the connection because those guys are close. I believe
That was the last year they actually did Project Greenlight up until like 2017, I think.
Bring it
So
back.
Feast totally ruined a fucking episodic series.
If it wasn't the first one, it's definitely the sequels because I watched those too, and my lord, they were bad.
Reality television in 05, man.
A couple of just closing notes here on the cast and crew. There was a scene featuring a cameo by O.J. Simpson that was deleted in the final cut.
Wow.
We know why it was deleted?
I cannot find out why, but we can, bring our own.
We can speculate, I guess.
Probably.
Let me think. Where would he fit in here? I don't even know. Maybe he played vet before.
Poor
Possibly.
Vet.
That guy had like no dialogue.
Poor Vet, dude.
Yeah.
He talks about how much he hates his wife, and then, okay, you're done.
He didn't have to see her again, that's for sure. And the role of hero was first offered to Mark Wahlberg, but he turned it down. That's going to wrap up the cast and crew notes. So let's get into what we call a trope, because that's going to be a big part of this podcast going forward.
Exactly. So what we want to do here is investigate horror films. What connects these things thematically? Why are we so interested in them? What's so cool about watching people maim and mutilate one another? And why do we have so many of the exact same scenarios in all of these films? Which is what a trope is, essentially. Just like a common through line. For example, the female nudity, big in horror movies. Is there any really good reason why? I don't know. It was.
We like big ass titties.
Well, that's part of it, but it definitely increased the popularity. It made it more viewable, I guess, back in the 70s and 80s when horror really blew up. So it's been like a calling card ever since. So
yeah, before like the porn industry blew up, you had like just that in one horror movie. That thing would move copies.
Right, yeah.
So Chris,
it
with
gets
this whole trope thing existing commonly across the board in a lot of horror films, it would probably be a good idea for a up-and-coming podcast to have a checklist of sorts, don't you think?
Hey, now that sounds like a gimmick. I like that.
And us at the Horrible Film School have just that.
What do we got?
Here on the show, we will be working our way to spell red rum, which is
REDRUM.
Boom.
That's murder
Which
backwards.
is kill them backwards. I mean murder.
Yeah.
And with that, there are 6 letters. Therefore, there are 6 tropes that we must get to in our mind for the perfect horror film. Those 6 tropes are: 1, abandoned place; 2, female nudity; 3,
Gotta
the
be
jump
female.
Scare. Yeah, they got the nudity. 3 will be the jump scare. 4 will be killer not dead. 5, splitting up and bringing up the rear. And number 6, technical difficulties.
Dun dun dun.
So with that, let's see just how many tropes Feast can bite into. So before we get into story beats, what do you guys think the Rotten Tomatoes audience score is?
All right, from the box art of this movie, what I'm seeing is this is going to be another crappy B film, B movie that they just put a good amount of, B-list actor, even C-list actor names on to try and, get a lot of audience in there, get a lot of people watching it. However, after watching the movie, I'm figuring it's going to be pretty high for a B-movie horror. I'm looking at like a 65.
Damn.
That is high.
Well, I say we lean into the audience score here because these are the people who feed this community. It's definitely not a community for the critics. So I think it was a surprisingly entertaining movie, honestly. So I'm going to say a 55.
I am a sucker for really bad, low-budget horror movies. Love them to death. Bruce Campbell taught me that love. And I'm going to go with a 73. I'm banking on the fact that the audience score is always much different. I've seen a lot of bad movies get incredibly high audience scores.
Yeah, man. Especially, like I said, the horror community. That's
calling out you.
Yeah, horror movies are super divisive. So, one man's Evil Dead is another man's Congo.
Oh, God, here we go. This is going to be the running gimmick every episode.
I will
we debate.
die on this hill. Congo is one of my favorite horror films. It is a horror film.
Amy, love banana.
The Diamonds of Zinj.
All right, let's get into Feast from 2005. First off, I would like to say that this rips off Evil Dead more than once, twice, 3 times.
Damn
over.
it, that's in my
Hold
notes.
Hold on. Let me
oh
think
my
about
God,
that.
it's in my notes.
It's all over this movie, man.
This didn't that did not cross my mind once.
Yeah,
I'm going to say
really? It did cross mine.
It did not. Are we talking about Evil Dead 1 or just the trilogy?
It's actually like 1 and 2 from what I've seen.
It's 1 and 2. Joe is correct.
One particular sequence in particular is a straight ripoff. of Evil Dead. I wouldn't even say it's a ripoff. I'd say it's an homage.
Oh, this film is this movie is very self-aware.
Yeah, the movie it pokes too much fun at itself to really be taken seriously, to the point that it's actually going to rip another movie off.
Right. I feel like a shameless. When I think of ripoff, I think of like a shameless ripoff. Like, did you ever hear about the guy who was trying to make Terminator 2 without James Cameron's permission? He just made a movie and he wanted to call it Terminator 2.
Terminex 2.
Like, could you do that? Can I make like Goodfellas 2? Who's gonna stop me from using that name? You know, no, that's shameless.
The theme song. Da, 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 da. It's just a dude with cue cards standing there. Misspells Terminator.
So the movie opens up.
Terminator.
So the movie opens up with character introductions, which I'm sure all three of us are going to have our favorites. Let's see. The first character that we see is Bozo, whose life expectancy is dead by dawn. Number one, Evil Dead connection.
Okay.
Number one.
Fair
Right,
enough.
I didn't connect those dots. That's more of a Ryan.
How did you guys feel about the way the characters were like presented by like the name cards and like their traits and everything?
I thought it was fantastic. I think
it really took me off guard at first because I was not expecting the type of movie that we were going to get. So I was like, what the hell is this?
To be honest with you, that's a lot of what my note-taking and actually looking at the movie stuff was me having to type out all that shit to try and remember everything it said.
Some of them were not as good as others. I don't think
no.
all of it out.
To me, none of them were really like clever at all. There was one
that's
that
what
was
I'm saying.
actually really, really funny that gave me the first laugh out loud moment of the whole movie. I mean, I guess you don't really want to say you laughed out loud at a horror movie, but this is definitely the movie. If you're into like comedy / horror stuff, yeah, this fits the bill.
Another character that I liked, the tag to, was Cody, the kid. His occupation
That's the best one.
was tax break.
Yeah, that's okay. That's the best one by far.
Hashtag too real, man. Come on.
Oh, man.
I thought that might hit a little close to home for you, Chris. I apologize,
Hey, that
but it
was
was
good.
It was spot on.
We're still getting credits for it, so I'm good with it.
Next, we have Evil Dead trope number 2. The Evil Dead trope is like a whole other category in this film.
Yeah.
Is the sweeping camera shot over the desert floor.
Yeah, the like the approaching evil or approaching.
Oh, come on
like,
now.
No.
So-
That feels like it's directly ripped.
Oh, no. I get what you're saying. You're talking about
it's
the
cutting back and
POV
forth.
shot.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
My bad. I thought you were talking about like
Yeah.
just the landscape shot.
Yeah, that's
I was like,
that's
not
a
every
direct
movie, dog.
homage. It has to be.
Yeah. I like the way they used it, though. I thought it was a pretty clever use of it.
Oh yeah. It's
How it was revealed
It
to
puts you
be
in the
a
mindset that
human.
hey, this is going to be this is the monster approaching. This is the evil from Evil Dead approaching. And it turns out that's not the case.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was a good little subversion.
It
there.
adds suspense to a part of the movie that's not even really suspenseful.
So as our characters are introducing themselves and hanging out at this bar, one particular piece of dialogue that I enjoyed was Honey Pie talking to Coach. Coach, again, is Henry Rollins. Honey Pie asks Coach, "You're not from around here, are you?" Coach says, "How did you know?" And Honey Pie says, "You have all of your teeth."
your teeth.
That was fantastic.
I
So-
love seeing Henry Rollins as a straight-laced character, man.
Poor man's Tony Robbins.
He pulls it off so well. And like, to look at the guy's history, like his music. I mean, it's like American hardcore from the '80s. The furthest thing from, like white collar, straight-laced stuff. It's literally like head banging into somebody else's face and breaking their nose.
What was that? That chick's was she a waitress?
She was a waitress.
She was serving him, right?
She
So
was
there
like
two
the
waitresses.
hot waitress is what you would call it, I guess, as opposed
Yeah.
to sad waitress.
She was kind of confusing, like what she was doing throughout the movie.
Oh yeah, a lot of the movie, she was just standing there covered in blood, hands in the air.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know where to put my hands. Where do I put them next?
So I thought the other lady was a prostitute who had the kid.
I don't think she was a prostitute. I think she was like doing sexual
She was a waitress too,
favors
right?
for like money.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
get
she
that
was a
vibe, too.
waitress, but it's like she was also being used as a fuck doll.
Yeah, I think it was like, I get extra money if I go upstairs with the old boss man.
Well, she goes upstairs with the boss man, makes her kid put on the earmuffs while she has fun with said boss man.
Earmuffs.
While that's going on, the hero runs into the bar and informs our group that there is a creature coming. It's going to pretty much kill them all.
Hey, whoa. Don't skip right to that. We got one more character you need to talk about. His real life name is Judah Friedlander. You may know him from the hit song by Dave Matthews Band, Everybody Gets a Hug. I don't think that's the name of the song, but in the music video, he's just hugging everybody, and I think that's really his claim to fame.
I thought he was like a commercial guy.
Yeah. He's like, he was on like That's Why I Love
T-Mobile
the
or
80s
something?
and stuff like that. But in watching this movie, hands down my favorite character in the entire movie. They could rename this movie Judah Friedlander Has a Horrible Day, because in the entire movie it's about him just getting fucked. Not literally fucked, because that could have happened with some of these creatures in the movie, as you'll see later on. But just physically, emotionally fucked.
Yeah, that dude's he had a rough. The body horror was 100% on him.
His actual character is like your beer delivery guy, who is, he just has a bad day.
Beer guy.
Oh
So
yeah, his first line in the movie is actually sampled in the Kill Whitney Dead song, "Drinking Makes Me Smarter." I think Kill Whitney Dead's relevant because they're a local band. They're from Greensboro. So
Yeah, that's right. They use a lot of
There you go.
samples.
yeah, they use a lot of samples.
Cool. That's awesome. All right.
I was a big fan of what I thought was Joe Biden in a cowboy hat, but he was a bartender.
I have a quote here that this dude says to Henry Rollins. Let me pull it up. "Amen, Brother Ben. Shoot a rooster. Kill the hen. Hollywood talk. Hollywood talk. That's what that's about." What the fuck is this old man talking about?
Now I'm
Is
convinced
he
it
out
is
here
Joe
spitting
Biden.
haikus and shit at everybody?
That's the president of the United States, sir.
It's
Show
like-
some respect.
You usually see an older character in a movie, and they're spitting out wisdom. They're giving you helpful tips. He's over there spitting bars, putting out the next, Drake track.
I like the guy, man. I thought he was fun. With the earring and everything, I thought he was fun.
Hey, that George Michael looking motherfucker.
So
I gotta have faith.
Our gang inside this bar is Bozo, the bartender, Cody the kid, waitress 1, Honey Pie, waitress 2, Chris, what's her name?
Tuffy.
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 Did you recognize
Not
her?
to be confused with Huffy, the mountain bike.
It took me forever to figure out who she was. Do you know this chick?
No.
She was
She
the
looks
lady
familiar.
in the elevator on Liar Liar. Remember her?
Oh, no fucking way. That's the
Yeah.
chick from Days of Our Lives. With the big
I don't know
tits.
about
That's,
that.
no,
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
it's not the same girl.
Yes, it is.
No fucking way.
The one that Jim Carrey goes, your boobs are huge.
Do we have a fact checker?
Her name is Krista Alley, best known for her work on Days of Our Lives, Baywatch
Get
Miami.
the fuck out of here, dude.
Also
What
known
happened
for
to her-
appearing in Liar Liar with
What
Jim
happened
Carrey.
to her? How do you say this, Pete? Breasts. Her breasts. Her breasts are smaller in this movie than that Liar Liar movie.
Just a
I
push-up,
thought
Rob, probably.
she looked great, man.
She must work out.
Definitely works out.
Wrong Jim
Mama.
Carrey flick.
And then we have Hot
That
Wheels,
was it.
who is Bozo's brother.
Yeah.
We have
Professor X.
Boss Man, who is the owner of this fine establishment.
Yeah.
We have Grandma, who doesn't do jack shit the whole movie.
Yeah.
And Jason Mewes,
Jason Mewes,
It's just Jason Mewes.
a.k.a. the pool shark.
the pool
Wasn't
shark.
he introduced as
The
himself,
pool
the actor?
shark.
I think he was introduced as Jason
Yeah,
Mewes.
he was introduced as Jason Mewes.
Okay.
Hey, don't forget Vet.
And then the
He's in there
vet
as
who.
well. Yeah,
is-
Simplify.
And
Simplify.
the motorcycle chick with the short hair.
Oh,
Yeah,
Harley
I got
girl.
her in here as Harley Lesbian.
Harley Mom, that was her name.
Oh,
That's
Harley
the
Mom.
director's wife, by the way.
Okay. Like, there's a scene in the beginning where she's in the bathroom, and I guess she's either taking a piss or a Monster Duke. And
the gun falls out.
her gun
Did you watch the
falls
unrated
into the
version?
floor. Like, are you keeping it in your pussy hole? What are you doing? Is it in your vagina? Why is it hitting the floor?
That is not unconventional. In
And here's
horror
the crazy
films,
part,
man.
too.
It happens.
She's also planning on robbing the place in 10 minutes, according to her bio, right?
Yeah.
She's getting high.
She's
What are
probably
you
getting
doing?
nervous.
Are you gonna-
She's probably getting
you gonna-
nervous.
Yeah, but have you ever tried to do something high? I
have
tried to
Depends
tie
on-
my shoes one time when I was high, and I fell on the fucking floor.
Depends on what substance you're talking
And I
about.
tie my
Yeah.
shoes every day. Imagine trying to rob a fucking place where there's 9 people walking around.
I can't see in the dark, so we all have our little niches.
What the? Well, I can't see in the dark either. I'm not a cat. All right, there's also a scene where Jason Mewes and Bozo are playing, I was about to say hockey, are playing pool.
Yeah.
All right, and in this scene,
Some
Jason
billets.
Mewes is billets. Jason Mewes is busting that ass, and is about to win, and then Wheels rolls up and bumps into Jason Mewes, distract him a little bit.
Yeah.
So Bozo reaches into his pocket and takes out a substance, wipes it on the ball, and the dude, he turns around, takes a shot at the ball, and the ball scratches, goes into the corner pocket, and he loses the game because scratch
the 8 ball.
scratch
you're
on an
done.
8 ball, you lose the game automatically. What in the fuck is Bozo doing with like chapstick or KY jelly in his pocket that he's
I
rubbing on
thought
the
he
ball?
reached into like his crotch and like grabbed ball
What
sweat.
are you
honestly,
fucking dick cheese?
that's what I thought happened.
All right, so keep in mind.
He must
throughout
have some
this-
sweaty balls, man.
Keep in mind, he's either got super sweaty balls
It's West
or he's
Texas,
got a
man.
bottle of KY jelly in his pocket throughout this movie.
There was a lot of like weird, like quick cut moments where I was kind of confused about what happened throughout the film.
I think it's really just giving you an idea of like what the nature of these characters really is.
So the hero runs into the bar. We're coming back around.
Oh yeah.
He informs this group that there's creatures coming. It's going to kill them all. We got to lock this place down, and I'm here to save your ass. And we have our first trope of the film, boys.
I literally have that in my notes as the first jump scare.
That
All
is a
right, we
jump
have
scare.
one trope. To
R.
The letter R.
Red rum.
R. Not a pirate R, but R.
Red rum! Red rum!
So after the hero gets ripped through the window of the bar, the creature eventually gets inside of the bar, jumps around, rips Jason Mewes' face off somehow. I don't understand.
That was another one of
It's-
those like I was like, what happened there? He like cleaned down his face like a quick.
And like cut his face perfectly off.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was shocking.
And then let's see, Harley Girl gets her leg cut off.
Yeah.
And she crawls in the corner, and then the bartender, Joe Biden, as Chris likes to call him, shoots Boss Man's toe off while he's banging sad, hot liar waitress.
Yep.
And
eventually, this is where he bangs the deer head.
Yeah, he mounts the deer. He mounts the mount.
He mounts the mount. It's
He
It's a
mounts
double
the
mount.
I'm telling you,
Another-
this will be a callback later. This little monster is horny. I repeat, horny.
so. Is this another Evil Dead reference, Hootie? Yeah, mounting the damn.
I did not pick
Does
up
Bruce
on that.
Campbell fuck a damn deer head or something?
I don't
in,
think that's a
Evil Dead?
connection at all. If you want
Is
to
that like
talk about,
is that a B scene? Is that a
He sings with one. He
B-side?
dances with one, right?
I guess all mounted animals is the Evil Dead reference from now on.
there's a scene where Henry Rollins is saying, can I buy you a drink to the waitress? And it's the hot waitress, the tits
Yeah.
spilling out.
I thought they were both hot.
She
personally, but
says,
okay.
"Yeah, I'm off in 5." Why is it every time somebody asks a waitress this fucking question in the movie, they're off in 5 or 10? It's almost like there's an unwritten rule of like, if someone asks to buy you a drink, you get off work in like
That's how
5
you
to 10
build
minutes.
suspense, man.
There's always like a 5 to 10 minute rule, it seems. Anytime you ask to buy a waitress a drink, or what time you get off? 5 to 10.
And then he has the ring pop out of the old wallet. I was like,
Big.
The bartender's like, I guess
Big
I'll be taking
mistake.
that receipt back.
Huge mistake. Huge. Give me my drink, Joe Biden. There's also a scene right there where he gives her a $20 bill, and then the dude gives Henry Rollins a fucking check afterward for $18. Is she keeping the money? Like, what kind of fucking back?
You were
market
getting
shit
really
is she-
deep into this horror movie, talking about balances of checkbooks now.
I want to know how the economics work between the characters.
Well, that's
How
the
is this
thing.
bar
Like he's giving
still
her money.
open?
What is she doing with the money to where he has to pay a tab at the end?
So as the monster is banging the mounted deer head,
Sex.
For what
having-
reason,
having
I'm not
sex.
sure.
the bartender, who is throughout the entire movie couldn't shoot the whites out of a barn, shoots the head of the mounted deer, and the creature happens happens to fall into a freezer chest, ice cube chest. Not sure what chest it is, but it gets locked in there.
Yeah, that was another one of those weird moments. I was confused about the spacing and what was happening, but that's how it ended. Yeah.
I'm going to move along because the boss man comes down. He's like, what the hell's going on?
Did we go over what the boss man was doing?
man.
Yeah, did we go over what was going on with the boss man? What he was
Having
doing
sex.
upstairs?
With the
We
liar
didn't say
girl.
any of the funny stuff he was saying.
Okay.
Give me an impersonation.
Ooh, damn, baby, act like you feel it. Shit fire. That's some of the memorable. I started saying that when I started masturbating the next day. Shit fire. That's just right there. Oh, damn. Act like you feel it. I was talking to myself when I said it.
The
I was
act
a
like
little
you
jealous
feel
of
it
that
line.
dude.
Act
was
like you
awesome.
feel it.
She's like smoking a cigarette, like
And
almost
she's
gonna fall asleep.
she's sitting there multitasking and shit, smoking a cigarette, like bouncing her checkbook while she's getting fucked. My man.
I was convinced, man, in that moment we would have another trope, but we did not. No female nudity. In
That
that.
trope
Yeah,
doesn't happen in this movie.
no nudity in that.
As the creature comes in, as boss man's banging said waitress,
Yeah.
the bartender blows his toe off. He comes downstairs, asks what's going on, and they have to explain to them the entire situation. The vet did die. I did skip over the fact that the vet died.
Yeah, the vet's guts was split in half by
He-
a monkey, like a monster arm.
Yeah, that
He
was kind
died
of part
like
of the
immediately after
chaos.
the hero died.
There's also something funny that the hero says before he gets his head ripped off or eaten off.
Was he, I'm going to save your fucking
Here's
ass.
what he says. He says, "They're coming right now, so we gotta lock this bar down. That means doors, windows, drains, and zippers, and we gotta do it fast." What I'm thinking is, did he just say zippers? Because Bozo's ears probably perked up, and he's like, "Man, I'm glad I brought this KY jelly with me. It ain't just for greasing up cue balls,
I'm about to get nuts to butts in here.
but nuts to butts."
So moving right along, the next important scene we should talk about is they go upstairs to check on Cody, the child, the tax break.
Cody, you had one job, Cody.
He had one
Stay
job.
in the fucking closet, Cody.
And Cody dies. He gets eaten by a monster.
Cody doesn't stay in
And
the closet.
Does
In
not stay the
spectacular
closet.
fashion.
Spectacular fashion. And
This should be a trope in itself. Kid doesn't listen to directions. What happens? You should use this as a teaching moment for Declan when you don't listen.
just show him a
Yeah,
feast.
just have this one
Or
clip
your-
on repeat.
You should use this as a teaching moment for your son.
Yeah,
Am I
I'll
allowed to say
be
your
glad
son's
to
name?
show him from jail when I'm
Okay.
put in there for showing this to a 2-year-old.
And this is yet another Evil Dead callback because the beer guy just gets an enormous amount of green ooze splashed all over him.
Poor
Yeah.
Judah Friedlander, man. He
He
is
got
up
doo-doo
there.
though.
He's up there. He's having the worst day of his life. His girlfriend just broke up with him after dating him for years. He's having to lug around 200-pound barrels of beer, knocking them over. He gets his weed confiscated in the basement by the boss man. And now he's up here trying to help out and gets 200 gallons of monster spit
Slime.
shot all over his body.
Maggots, the whole
That's
gamut.
gross.
Maggots, the whole gambit.
So our group comes downstairs, minus Cody, of course, because he's dead. And they realize they need to figure out how to contact the outside world. And boys, we have yet another trope. Because
Oh, boy.
we have just entered technical difficulties.
Red rum! Red rum!
All right,
Technical
I got a note
difficulties.
on this as
E.
well. You were right, 100%. The whole technical difficulties thing does, start right there. However, the first moment it starts is when the little monster's jumping around the bar, and for whatever reason, the old man, the barkeep, is wildly
Yeah.
shooting his shotgun around the room, trying to hit it, and he hits the phone that Judah Friedlander is trying to call
Oh, shit, that's right.
out to.
Because he hangs it up in the hole in the wall.
There's several moments of technical difficulties, but
That bartender
you're
struggles
right.
with the shotgun, man.
I'm telling you, man. First of all,
Judge,
you got
baby.
2 shells in there. What are you doing? What if there's multiple attackers? You got to think ahead on these things. You can't
This
just.
man is the leader of the free world. What do you want from him?
He obviously did not plan for monsters.
So the band realizes that the only way to outside world contact is the CB radio upstairs. But until we can get to that CB radio, we got to take care of the little monster who was fucking the dead animal on the wall in the chest. So Joey's favorite man, boss man, shoots the little guy in the chest probably 5 times with a .45 caliber revolver, and somehow that doesn't kill it. It doesn't make sense to me. It takes a full-blown shotgun to kill this thing, but it finally does die. So whatever that means.
Poor little guy.
Poor little guy. Then Coach has an idea of we should put the dead rodent outside to show a dominant force. And then there's a scene with a monster sex scene with car horns.
Yeah, it was fucking wild.
They're doing it doggy.
Oh, the monsters are doing it doggy style. He goes, looks like she took a shit.
Fucking Wheels is sitting there and just randomly out of nowhere. I guess they didn't have enough lines for him. He just goes, monster sex. Like,
Yeah,
just, what are you talking about?
That was an odd throwaway one there.
Monster sex.
But yeah, so this is all like in the span of 10 seconds. They ingest their own child, make love. We'll call it making love. And then reproduce twins.
There's also a weird scene a little bit before that where Honey Pie's covered in blood from, the guy getting his head bit off. She goes and she starts taking I guess a hobo shower out of the sink.
The wipe down and the bra.
And then the bozo and what we learn is his brother. At this point, Wheels. They're watching him, and she says, "Act like you've had some." Bozo, being the asshole, Chad that he is, goes, "Oh, I've had some." Wheels goes, "I haven't." His voice cracks so much.
Poor Wheels.
Has that
Poor
ever worked
Wheels,
before?
man.
Like in the movies? Just like,
Poor
I'm the
Wheels.
pathetic guy. Please help me.
I feel like it has. Definitely in like some Freddy Krueger films.
Hey,
that's
sometimes
definitely
sometimes girls are
Yeah,
attracted
maybe.
to like pathetic, and they just sympathy,
We all have our fetishes.
That's
happened.
it.
So after the monsters have sex, car
I got a
horns
few
go
more
on.
fetishes after this movie.
We're learning more things out. The monsters attack the bar yet again, and the beer guy, who's always in the wrong place at the wrong time, is trying to hold down the latch on the window, and the monster rips his eyeball out of his face with what looks like 3 foot of eye cord.
Yeah, it was
Pretty
a
sure
little
that's
tough.
not accurate to how your eyeball works.
A little
But
tough to watch there. He says, "Give me back my freaking eye." While it's happening.
and the coach gets his pants ripped off.
It's fun. It's funny how that scene's set up too. He goes up to the window and he says, "I can't see a thing." And immediately after he says that, it's when the monster jabs his fucking claw into his eye and pulls it out.
One of the fine ladies gives Coach a pair of pink pants to wear for the rest of the film, which are very fashionable.
Yes.
Then the next big scene would be the CB radio run. It's very important.
Oh, and there's a trope right here as well.
Red rum, red rum.
Oh,
This is going to give us a D, if I'm correct. The group splits up.
this is correct.
You have half of them go upstairs, half of them
Splitting
go
up.
into the basement.
We're actually halfway. We got the
R-E.
red. We just need the rum.
D.
Make mine's a double.
Bozo, Coach, and Joe Biden / bartender go upstairs for
Joey.
the CB radio run. Bozo is given the horrible task of going into this room where Cody has recently died, the tax break.
I also like how Bozo says to the old man, "Hey, you're coming with me," and then the old man's like, "What? I can't do anything." And he's like, "Yeah, you're slow. That's helpful." He is 100% planning on fucking capping his dude's knees and feeding him to the monster if anything
Yeah,
goes
it's the
wrong up there.
classic. I don't have to outrun the
100%.
bear. I have to outrun you.
So as Bozo is trying to go for the CB radio, the monster breaks in, the door is locked, the key breaks, the heroine number 1 rips the George Michael earring out of the bartender's ear and unlocks the door somehow. Don't know how that works.
Yeah, dude, she's fucking crafty, bro. She's got a daughter.
Crafty. If you this
I would
movie
al-
teaches you.
I would also say the key breaking fits the fits the archetype for technical difficulty trope. I know we've already, covered that trope. However,
Slashed it.
This also falls under that.
She was downstairs during this altercation, right?
Yeah,
looking for ammo or something.
She went to the basement. That's part of the whole splitting up trope.
Right.
And they saw that the window in the basement was open. So
Yeah.
it was her and heroine number 2. And as they open the door, they get Bozo out of the room. They close the door, and boom. As the door closes, the monster's cock gets stuck in the door.
The monster cock gets stuck in the door. Hands down, my favorite scene in the movie is this.
That was my favorite image.
Monster cock in the door. I've heard of stepsis being stuck in the dryer in porno. I've heard of stepmom being stuck under the bed in porno. Now we're getting into monster cock being stuck in the door. It's another instance where that KY jelly that Bozo has would have come in clutch.
I just don't think that there's a genre there yet for cock in the door.
And then right after that, Wheels is over here doing fucking wheelies on the decapitated monster cock. Like he's out here sketching on it like he's in a fucking rap video.
So I have a question. Was the monster running through that room towards Bozo, like ready to have sex with him? Why was his dick out?
I mean, why are little monsters fucking animal faces in this entire movie? Everybody's like horny. All these monsters are horny.
Just horned up, man. Just ready to go.
That's what feasting is about, man.
I guess.
Just eat and make love.
America.
That's right.
So the monster cock gets broken off, and they step on it, and just a lot of semen comes exploding out of that bad boy.
Yeah, the effects work there was great.
That's a big unsung, I guess.
Unslung cock.
Unslung cock. To me, the
this
effects
as big
of this
anything,
movie are
man.
actually they're great. They're fantastic. I think I read the budget for this movie was like $3 million.
Wow.
I mean, that's obviously to the layman that sounds like it's a lot of money. However, for a movie of this magnitude and scale, that's actually not that bad.
Yeah, that is really good.
Yeah, good effects work.
So the band gets back together for what seems like the 4th time.
Yes.
And Hot Wheels has an idea. Good old Hot Wheels doing willies.
Wink, wink.
He thinks
Professor
of a
X,
distraction.
man, he's a genius.
Yeah, why is it always the guy in the wheelchair who's the smart guy? But anyway, Hot Wheels thinks of a distraction using hairspray and booze strapped to a dead body. Genius.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
The old sticky bomb.
Yeah, he was so confident in what he was saying. I was like, I'm not sure
It's
what the hell this kid's talking about.
I think they called back earlier in the movie. He sells fireworks to kids or something.
Yeah.
It's now this guy's like an astrophysicist or an actual chemist who's out here creating fucking bombs out of people.
And there's a lot of hairspray in that bar because there's 6 cans strapped to the body they pick.
Yeah, what is it?
I think that's honey pie.
Honey pie says she had it in her purse, right?
A 24-pack of hairspray, apparently. So the group splits up yet again. Let's see. Boss man. Trope. Yeah, we still got. That's Red's already happened.
Red.
Bozo and Boss Man go upstairs, and Coach and Heroine go downstairs.
There's another callback too before we go any further. Sorry.
Okay.
Honey Pie is checking on Judah Friedlander, who's come back to life at this point. He's standing up, covered in blood and pus and maggots and just green slime. And she's checking. She's seeing if she can help him, see if he's all right. Lifts up the bandage they put over his eye, and it's covered in maggots and blood and stuff. And she goes and she throws up. She runs off. Is disgusted. And Bozo says to her, "You should be a nurse." And she says, "Thanks." Why the fuck should she be a nurse? She saw a little bit of blood, and then she went and threw up immediately.
He keeps saying, "Does it look good? Does it look good?
Is it healing? I think so. I'm just gonna go rinse my mouth out."
Dude, it's fantastic, man. He is definitely a scene stealer for me, 100%.
He definitely was funnier than I thought he would be.
Yeah, he was great.
I could tell from the setup how they're gonna use him, but I was like, I don't know if this guy
course.
can pull it off.
That's
but he
gonna
did.
be your comic relief anytime.
So they pick the dead body of Harley Girl, strap her up with the booze and hairspray, drag her ass upstairs. Boss Man and Bozo do it. They're going to throw her out the window. And then Coach and Heroine are going to go downstairs in the basement, exit out, and get to the truck.
Yeah.
Pretty good idea, I gotta say, by our gang here.
Fundamentally good.
It goes bad.
Yeah, of course.
So with Bozo and Bossman upstairs with the dead body of Harley Girl right before they're about to feed her to the creatures for the diversion, somehow Harley Girl wakes up, and it's been multiple hours, and she's missing a leg.
She lost a lot of blood.
Lost a lot of blood. It was like, come on.
The weed cauterized the wound, bro.
Oh.
Help me.
Maybe she shot the gun and stuck it in her leg.
She's literally got the sticky icky, and the sticky icky is what stuck her leg back together. She didn't bleed out.
Then they have the whole moral quandary of, we got to help her. No, she's not alive. Da 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 da.
You can probably, that's the thing with these two characters. If you're not actually watching the movie, it's kind of hard to think who would actually be on which side. Because Bozo's an asshole, and then Bossman
Gets it done, man.
So you're here, boy.
So the monsters rip out Harley Girl before they can make a decision because she's still alive somehow.
Yeah.
And they just make it to where the connection hits the electrical socket. Harley Girl blows up.
What's happening?
Wait,
What's
yeah.
happening
What
to
happens?
her?
What happens right before they get blown up, Ron or Hoodie?
Let's talk about her face.
Yeah,
During the
what
explosion.
happens right before that? You were glossing over probably the most gross shit in the entire movie.
She's getting gangbanged.
She gets fucked in her mouth and fucked in her stump of a leg by the two baby monsters that were just birthed from the animalistic sex that was being had earlier.
I did not take as many.
You did
notes
not catch that?
on the sex of this film. No, I did not.
I watched that 6 times.
Jesus,
That
I
was the
think
most
you're watching
disturbing bit.
porn at that point.
Here's the crazy part. The one who had the mouth, he finished. He finished. She spat out. I'm not going to say it was semen because it's a monster and who knows, the actual biological workings of those kind of monsters.
I remember the
She
scene
spat
being
out
that long.
a white liquid. Oh, it was long. For me, it was long.
They held on it, man. They held on it longer than I was a little comfortable with.
That's the thing.
But I was laughing.
He finished. She spat it out. He went back in.
I did not watch that scene. Yeah, that's why
He
I
went in
glossed
for
over.
seconds.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Are you dedicated enough to this movie to watch a little monster fuck a lady in the mouth?
Apparently not. Apparently that was above.
It was
my
a threesome.
I go above and beyond.
The heroine and Henry Rollins' coach goes out, tries to get the truck. It goes wrong, of course. They get trapped by the monsters. Heroine tries to come back into the bar, but your favorite boy, beer guy, freaks out for some reason.
Well, hold on. Here's what it is. He tries to leave earlier in the movie to get medical assistance because he's covered in goo and his body's decaying right before our very eyes. This heroine lady kicks his ass, beats the shit out of him, and says, "No one's leaving. You're going to get us all killed if you leave." Who's outside and wants to come back in and wants to get in. He's just, staying. He's trying to protect everybody else inside. The guy's a hero. You're talking about heroin. This is the actual hero of the movie.
I feel like we watched two separate films, Jordan.
I don't
think
think
that
we
is.
did. I think one of us did a deep dive.
I think you had your beer goggles on, bro.
I think I'd watched one too many of the Dave Matthews Band music videos, and it's got me overly attached to this character.
Super fan. He's whatever they call him, Dave.
I'm a shoot Freelander super fan.
So the heroine tries to go upstairs to the window, and Bozo shoots her.
Right in the gut.
Yep.
Right
And
in the
at
old
that
gut.
point, we have Bozo and Boss Man both with their secrets at that point.
Both
Gut shot.
with a dirty secret.
Ooh.
And the monsters, of course, eat heroin, number one.
Yep. There's a lot of love making and a lot of eating, man.
Enter heroine number 2.
Bum, bum,
Occupation. Whose occupation is childless mother.
When the monster ate the kid, too, he spits out the shoe because he gets shot. And it's like, all right, the kid's dead, but at least we saved the fucking Yeezys, bro.
As heroine number 2 gets introduced, this is the point of the film where I got really agitated with the amount of Hitchcock violin this movie has in it. I don't know if you two guys had the same.
I didn't even catch
Yeah,
that.
I didn't.
The score you're talking about?
that-
That little
Now, Monster Jizz and people,
It's all through
people,
it.
getting fucked in the mouth, I watched and paid attention.
Yeah, apparently we.
The violins and the symphony orchestra that's playing in the background. I think that went over my head, Hootie. Sorry.
Yes, I definitely saw all the monster cock. I'm not sure I heard every violin stroke though.
Apparently that was all white noise to me. Yeah, it's all
I
white
didn't hear
noise.
every violin
Oh,
stroke,
yeah.
but I definitely saw every monster stroke.
Hootie's next level. He's like, oh, monster cock, whatever. You hear this fucking violin? This is
Look at this
great.
violin. Somebody is hammering this violin. At this point, we see what happened to Coach, and he is being used as a battering ram to get inside the bar by the monsters. Honey Pie gets out of the bar. I'm skipping
This
it.
shit cracked. I like this.
Yo,
Honey pie.
that shit was great.
Is the only one who gets out of the bar at this point, goes to the truck, gets in the truck, cranks the damn truck up, and drives the fuck off.
Yep.
I'm telling you, Honey Pie, in this instance, she makes her way into the top 10 anime betrayals, without a doubt. I don't know that I've ever seen it play out in a horror movie like this, where the hot chick actually survives and then just YOLOs her way out of danger. It's like,
And we never see her again.
how fucked it would it be if she didn't know how to drive stick? Because you know that big ass truck was a stick shift.
Yeah, it was a monster. It was the beer truck. It wasn't
Yeah.
a boss man's truck.
At that point, everybody left in the bar is just like, what the hell just happened? And the creatures get inside the bar.
Finally.
What a second. We had one very important character lying on the ground during this sequence, too.
Oh,
Yeah, Boss Man.
Man's death.
We had to go ahead and throw out the rip to Boss Man in this situation.
R.I.P. Boss Man with the master plan, bro. Boss
He said, I'm
Man's
just gonna
thinking,
lay right here, and these monsters ain't gonna be able to get me.
yeah. Ain't gonna be
Right through the
ditching
fucking
me.
floor.
Hell, they like getting things that move. As soon as he
Yep.
says that shit, a damn arm goes up through his guts. You can hear him audibly shit himself as soon as it happens. He's sitting there screaming, "Wah, wah, wah."
Rest in peace, man. MVP.
R.I.P.
Nothing like losing your best player.
As the monster gets in,
Shit
they
bar.
obviously start trying to kill everybody in the bar, and our first death is the beer guy, who gets his head just smashed in.
Finally, Judah.
He got the freaking Jax
Judah's
fatality,
suffering,
didn't he?
Man, Judah's suffering comes to an end. Go be with God, you beautiful, beautiful angel.
Yes. Sweet soul.
And I
Sweet,
did forget
sweet
to
dude.
say that the bartender dies of a heart attack.
Well, hold on. He starts having a heart attack, but then he has his throat cut by the monster claw. But I think he was on his way out.
He was already dead. We would've
Well, I
thought
think he
dead.
was just bleeding out from the earring being ripped out to begin with. I mean, he's an old man. Old man ain't got but like half a pint of blood in him. So it's like that's probably what brought the heart attack on is that blood loss.
But yeah, this was during like the big final battle. You had him and Bozo holding the monster down while old chick just starts hammering it. Do we even mention specifically that Heroine 2 is Tuffy transformed, quote unquote?
transformed to a childless
She
mother.
takes the mantle.
She very much.
But yeah, she
is,
goes ham with that freaking shotgun butt, man.
Yeah, she's very much. What's the girl from Terminator? Linda Hamilton. Yeah, she's very much. She becomes a Linda Hamilton in this moment. And
Right before the monsters break into the bar, Grandma does lock herself into the freezer. Keep that in the back of your head.
Yeah.
So as bartender and Bozo are laying on the monster, hero number 2 is beating the shit out of this thing. They eventually kill the monster. Bartender does die, sadly. And hero number 2 does the badass move of ripping the monster's heart out
Through its throat.
through its throat.
That was
through
impressive.
its throat.
I would have personally been terrified, but she goes like full in to the shoulder with the arm to pull it out.
Then the
Just like
Then the
Mortal
sun comes
Kombat,
out.
bro. This is
Kinda
what
hot.
Mortal Kombat should have been. This part of the movie.
This was better than Mortal Kombat.
That
definitely
sequence
better
is
than
better
Mortal
than
Kombat.
Mortal Kombat in the entire movie. I agree.
And at this point, the sun comes up. And the rest of the monsters just like disappear because there was more than that one.
Well, no. There's a scene earlier where the Wheels, he takes the bear trap and throws it in one of them's face and cuts his head off.
Yes.
And then there's another one.
Always forgettable Wills.
The two baby monsters that had been blown up, obviously. I thought there was a third death.
There was only two, like
Two
a mom and a
grown
pop, right?
monsters? I
Mon
thought there were
Pop.
3. We'll just say the monster cock when he just bled out from having his dick severed.
I mean, what is there left to live
That's
for?
where the
after that?
monsters. That's where the monsters' brains are.
Especially these
in
fucking guys.
movies.
That's all they
So
care
it's
He
about.
probably just offed himself.
That's all that these creatures care about, apparently.
So the sun comes up. Bozo, Hot Wheels, and Heroine number 2 are your sole survivors.
Make the great escape.
And they leave the bar in search of Heroine number 1's and Hero's child. And
Right.
that
And there's a funny part of that as well, where there's a we should go and get the daughter of Heroine 1, and Will says, "The fuck are you talking about?" He's ready to go, bro. He lost his wheelchair. He's ready to step it up, man. Get that mobile scooter.
And I was going to pose this before we close out the movie and the story beats. Is there one trope left?
There is one left by my count.
There is one.
Really,
left.
I missed that one.
Did you check the post-credit sequence?
In the post-credit sequence, to parlay back to Grandma locking herself in the freezer,
Yeah.
that sweet old lady comes out of that freezer
She peeks her head out.
to a monster.
Oh shit.
Red rum! Red rum!
Rip.
He ain't dead, or she ain't dead.
He ain't dead.
The killer ain't dead. Another trope.
Maybe
Which gets us
maybe
to-
in the second one she becomes the monster.
Ooh,
Or,
Grandma.
So we're at R.
Hopefully we never know.
R.
Hopefully we never have to watch that.
Four of the 6 tropes met. So
For our first episode of the Horror Bull Film School podcast, we were only able to get 4 letters of red rum. So feast is not
The sound
perfect
from
horror.
the sound for Price is Right.
that's fucking Drew Carey.
So Feast is not the perfect horror movie.
Not quintessential, but very entertaining.
A very entertaining piece indeed. If you
Very
fellas
entertaining.
could be able to own one piece of memorabilia from Feast, what would it be?
No, this was easy for me, bro. Give me that black button-up shirt with the 2 golden scorpions under the lapel. Boss Man's fucking
Man's
shirt
bro.
was so fucking
Boss Man
cool.
had the fucking style. No wonder he got all that pussy.
He didn't take it off when he was making love, man.
You can't even feel it, girl.
Give me that shirt, man.
No wonder, bro.
Is it the same for you too, Joy? Boss Man's attire?
No. For me, it's probably going to be that one spare shoe. Because
With the foot
I'm
in
of
it.
the mindset that that's a Yeezy, and I can sell that bad boy, make me a little bit of money.
I like how this waitress.
Either that or
working-
pickle that monster cock and just keep it.
pickle it. I like the fact that this waitress who's working in a West Texas rundown bar can afford Yeezys for her child.
Hey, she's making money somehow.
I think this is all in
The
Joy's
hustle
head.
never ends, bro.
And I would actually say that I also picked the Boss Man's Complete Wardrobe, which
Hell yes.
you can now buy on yourprops.com from Damien1995 username. Look it up.
Fuck yes, Damien.
He owns the entire thing. Boots to fucking shirt to hat.
How much are we
pants.
talking?
You look up. I didn't look at the price. I didn't care that much, but I know who owns the outfit. Let's get into the minds of the audience, people who actually watched this film. Besides us 3 here, somebody else's take on this. First, we have Kimberly's Ball username. She gave this movie 1 star. She said, "We paid $1 to rent this movie, and we want it back."
What? Come on.
Is that the whole review?
That's the whole review.
I'm not gonna lie, she paid more than I did, but still, come on.
Yeah. Check out YouTube. Put this movie into YouTube. You'll actually find the entire movie.
Username Jenny also gave it 1 star with a simple review. Child eaten alive. ... She did not care for that. No, ma'am.
Here's my review. 5 stars. Child eaten alive. ...
The same review. I like that.
Namir.
Happy, and then that happy face emoji right there at the end.
Jesus. Namir's review was, "It's like From Dusk Till Dawn, but a little gorier, and it has Henry Rollins instead of Selma Hayek. This is acceptable to me." 4 stars.
What was Henry? I guess he got naked at one point. Did it show his dick? Because we saw him, Selma Hayek's tits in that movie, right?
So he doesn't get like the George Clooney comparison here. Just Salma. Okay.
Why wouldn't he just say Quentin Tarantino? I mean, I could see him more as a Quentin Tarantino than Selma Hayek.
Henry Rollins instead of Selma Hayek.
I'd watch this movie with that guy.
Hey, I'd like to hear his actual observation of the movie while he's watching it. If he's thinking like Henry Rollins is Selma Hayek.
The whole time he's like, "Is fucking Salma Hayek in this? Why am I watching this?" No, Henry Rollins is fine.
Namir from
who is fucking Wheels Juliette Lewis?
Namir from the Feast Rotten Tomatoes audience reviews. If you want to holler at the podcast, please let us know who you are so we can watch this film with you.
Thank you, Namir.
The last audience review is from Bruce Straka. His review was Blood, Guts, and Tits. 5 stars.
We definitely didn't watch the same movie then because where's the tits?
We saw some nips through the shirts. A lot of that.
There was a scene though where what's her name? The Honey Pie. Honey Pie's getting off work, and she goes to the back. She already has a good amount of cleavage, showing.
Yeah, I remember that.
In a shirt. She comes out of the back, and it's like she had breast enhancement surgery in the back of the room because her boobs are like double the size.
I think you just noticed them at that point, man.
No. I rewound the movie and actually
the amount of horned up that you were during this film, Joy, is really disturbing.
No.
This whole movie was definitely
if you go into this movie and you don't expect to have a chub by the end, we're not watching the same movie.
You ain't boss man material, that's for sure.
That wraps up the audience reviews, fellas. What did you think of Feast?
For me, I will give it a thumbs up, 100%. Pretty much, if you're a gorehound, I can't recommend this movie enough. It's fun, absurd, comical, and even clever at some points in the movie. Yeah, the movie's been done a million times over, this style of movie, but at least it tries to make an attempt to differentiate itself from the pack. And in my opinion, it does just that. I would definitely say this is probably one of my favorite B horror movies to date.
Well, to echo the sentiments, I really like this a lot, so I would recommend it to somebody looking to get into horror, anybody who already enjoys horror films. It was, I'm going to lie, the first 20 minutes, I was like, this sucks, this is going to be terrible. But I guess once I kind of got to the conceit of what they were trying to do, I was like, this is great, man. It was funny. It was over the top, zany. Like, there was literally, like, dick attacks every 20 minutes or so. I mean, I was not expecting that when I popped into this thing. This is a movie I never would have watched unless we collectively decided to do something like this, and I'm glad I did.
I remember specifically skipping over this movie
I never
like
heard
so
of it.
many times on Netflix before. Like, it's not on Netflix now, but I remember 100% skipping over this movie at least 20 times. In retrospect, I kind of wish I would have gave it a shot sooner.
I would say that I also enjoy this film. It's just a super B movie horror film that echoes back to those 80s films like Evil Dead or Reanimator or Phantasm. If you really like those cheesy horror movies, this is for you, man. Kind of opposite of what Chris said, I enjoyed the first 20 minutes a lot more than the rest of the film because I love the setup with the like gimmicky character introductions. The hero was a great character to me. I enjoyed the fact that he lasted only about 2 minutes. I thought that was really well done.
Good looking guy too.
He's a great looking dude.
That dude, he has a large role on Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
And
I know
every doctor in the
place.
Grey's Anatomy show got a fat cop. I mean, you can just look at them. They're all very attractive, good looking men. Got the fat cop.
It's a slow blink.
They're your prototypical lead man in any type of movie.
I think Joey's created his own username in this show of like the sex hound.
Dude, I'm Namir or whatever his name is. That's actually
He's Namir. Host Namir now.
That's actually Joey back if you spell it backwards.
If you spell it.
But thinking about it, I actually do remember that the hero guy was on the cover of Men's Health back in the day. Now that I think about it, I know I've seen him somewhere before.
Pull. Jesus,
Yeah,
how
there
did
was-
you
yeah.
read Men's Health?
I just fucking remember that.
I vaguely remember those pages being stuck together in your Men's Health magazine, Chris.
Well, Well, yeah. According to
Different
your,
times, right?
your knowledge, apparently you read
Oh,
the
so
article a
another
few
one having
times.
KY gel in its pants, eh? So with that, let's figure out how close we were to the actual fan Rotten Tomatoes score.
Oh, boy.
Drum roll, please.
You
Somebody
want to
look it up.
recap our scores? What was that, 55?
I was a 73.
65?
With the Rotten Tomatoes audience score, when we guess going forward, if anybody comes within a plus minus of 3 of the actual score, they do win a nice little prize. And that prize is they get to pick the next film, anything they want.
Hot damn!
From Poltergeist to Phantasm 5, whatever you want.
A fat cock on Grey's Anatomy is not an option.
Dude,
Sorry.
I'm telling you, we're watching fat cock films if I win, bro.
Otherwise, we will use a simulator to pick our next film. So with that, Chris, was anybody close with this film?
Drum roll, please.
It's going to be like 95.
The Rotten Tomatoes audience score for Feast is 59%.
Wow.
Hey,
That's
yo,
like
that
59.
means, oh shit, you missed by like 1 or 2.
Yeah, but that's just one, and it's also 1 point away from being fresh. So good for Feast.
Dude, that's
I'm glad.
that college education's paying off, huh?
I'm not even mad, man. But yeah, 1 point is a little frustrating.
So
That's what I
with
get for
that,
sticking to the fives.
nobody came within 3. Very, very close, Chris.
Yeah,
We literally couldn't get any closer.
a humble effort.
So with that, let's spin that wheel. The wheel has been spun. The movie has been picked.
The wheel has been spun.
In our next episode, Horror Bull Film School will be covering Amityville Horror from 2005.
Another 2005 classic, bro. Right there alongside Feast.
Apparently, we're
Stuck
staying
with
in.
Joy in
Can
that
we get
chicken
the
nugget factory.
2010s? Jeez. That's the golden age of horror movies. Come on. I can't wait to watch The Conjuring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
So do we want to watch this trailer and react to it?
We get to watch the trailer.
315, 315, 315.
Oh, shit.
The Amityville Horror coming to a theater 16 years ago.
That did not look that bad.
Dude, I'm pretty stoked to be seeing this remake of a remake of a remake.
Oh, boy. Oh, it's based on a true story, so we're going to have to do some research here.
Yeah, might have to do a little bit extra digging.
Now we have to guess the RT score.
Oh, man, something like that. I would say something low, but I'm sure our host, Hootie, has went over there and made about 17 to 20 accounts on Rotten Tomatoes and bumped the score way, way, way up. In case you haven't noticed already, he's got a little bit of a man crush on Ryan
Reynolds
We'll be-
is just a good-looking dude. I mean, what else? What else can I say?
We'll be going over that in detail.
The
in our next episode.
homoeroticism on this podcast is
See, now I was talking about dicks this episode.
fever
The next
pitch
episode,
already.
It's all about you, bud.
All about me.
Oh, boy.
The glory
So
that
we
is
But
wanna
mine.
yeah,
go ahead
from what I'm seeing, I'll stick to the safe side. I say 60.
To take Joey's trope of this entire show, going 69.
I'm going to say, I think the Rotten Tomato fan score is 45%.
Damn it, you probably right on the damn nose.
Way low.
I mean, that's
You are underestimating Ryan Reynolds' stock. Towards what's
how much can Ryan Reynolds bare chest carry a movie though?
For
Exactly.
me, it's right up to 100% fresh.
Have you seen Green Lantern?
Right,
Me
100%,
either.
100% fresh.
Have you seen that movie, The Bodyguard's Wife? Is that what it's called?
The Hitman. I don't know.
The Hitman's Bodyguard's Wife? I think that's the sequel.
Some shit like that.
So with that, we are going to conclude the first episode of the Horror Bull Film School and Feast from 2005.
Check out Feast, folks.
If you haven't seen it, check it out. Give it a shot. It's actually a decent watch, and only about an hour and 25 minutes. It's
Yeah, man. It's
it
a
is
breeze.
it is a well spent hour and 25 minutes. There's much worse stuff that you can watch in an hour and 25 minutes.
In today's era, with very little content coming out of the pandemic, this is well worth your time to kind of kill a Saturday or a Sunday, have a little fun. And with the next show, we will be covering 2005's The Amityville Horror with the one and only Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yay! Yeah, we're gonna do that.
And with that, I'm gonna get out of here, fellas.
All right, boys, it's been real. Glad to watch something new.
Joey signing off, a.k.a. Bear Shark, a.k.a. Young Yeezy.